Before I start, you should know that you're being exposed to radiation right now. What? Yeah. Where's it coming from? Concrete, outer space, food, everywhere. Anything. That's the world we live in. But it's not a problem. Well, we're pretty sure it's not a problem. That's the thing with ionizing radiation. Individually, we're totally fine getting occasional low doses from X-rays, and we're tolerant even of high doses from radiotherapy. But if you keep on getting a really small amount extra every day, all of a sudden it's bad for you, especially if we take on a population or public health viewpoint. We don't know where the limit is either. There might be no limit. We just don't know. There's probably no way of knowing. It's people around radiation occupationally that can most easily get that extra, chronic, low-dose exposure. Dentists that don't close the door when they're x-raying your molars, or clinicians treating in the fluoroscopy suite every day and probably hanging around the beam for a bit too long. But it's not that low doses of radiation are inherently dangerous. The problem is that when we know it's a low dose, we tend to ignore it a bit and then endure chronic exposure over a career or a lifetime. That's bad. But it comes about because us humans don't have any intuitive sense for the behaviour of radiation and how its effects can accumulate. We can't feel it and we can't see it. Shielding Studio lets you see it. It's built on the technology that I've developed to satisfy my consulting clients in designing radiation shielding to make imaging equipment safe. Now you can use it to calculate the impact of low doses in your workplace from X-rays to radioactive material. For those clinicians standing next to an X-ray C-arm or near to radioactive nuclear medicine patients. It works on a laptop and produces results in a few minutes as well. It complements existing radiation protection approaches like radiation monitoring badges, for example, really nicely. Current approaches don't tell you where the danger is right away, but they do attempt to retrospectively reconstruct any previous high exposure incidents. I can show you where the danger is right now. Okay, so now you can see radiation interacting in your workplace, and you can decide on how it affects you and your behaviour. Shielding Studio enables you to make informed decisions, develop situational awareness when you're around radiation, and improve procedures by including graphical dose maps and quantified dose data. This is the true power of our technology. You don't need to be an expert to see that you shouldn't be standing in the red zone. Buy a license, and Shielding Studio runs on an ordinary computer. If you want higher fidelity results in a shorter amount of time, calculations can even be accelerated in the cloud. This pay-per-use model opens up radiation simulation to anyone. It's not just limited to academics with supercomputers anymore. That used to be me, a custodian of really advanced technology that was just too hard to use. But that's not the case for Shielding Studio. It even has built-in data analysis tools, so you can design your environment, simulate radiation interacting within that environment, and analyze results all for one price. I've already shown that this technology has value at the design stage of systems and devices such as imaging equipment that use radiation. Now I want you to use it to map out safe areas when using that imaging equipment, or when you're handling radioactive materials, or even when treating radioactive patients. When we can see radiation, we're much safer around it, especially when the doses are low. Finally, I want you to tell me about how you use radiation. Are you exposed to it? Do you want to minimize your exposure and produce safety documents that clearly illustrate areas to avoid? Chronic exposure of very low doses of radiation over a career represents a risk that can be minimized. If that's you, please message me or send me an email. G'day, my name's Christopher Poole. I'm a physicist and an expert in simulating radiation. This is Radiation Analytics.